Okay, welcome everyone. Let me just check the audio and get a few things set up here and then we'll get going. Let me just make sure the audio is working. Okay, yeah, audio is good. All right, so let me get this out. I am watching the chat. Excuse me. So I am watching the chat if you want to send me a message or anything. And let's get this quickly going. Share it out. And I will get rid of the tunnel effect. Live streaming. ChatGPT plugin development for space APIs. All right. Let me get it posted on LinkedIn. And then we'll get started here. Live streaming openAI ChatGPT for plugin development on YouTube. Building a space themed plugin with NASA and other space APIs. Space streaming live Python. Excuse me. Okay, so everything's posted. Now, I have a bunch of, so I don't even really know where to start. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to show you what I'm building. So if I go to chatgpt openai.com, I actually have to bring up my server. So let me bring up my server first. So it is a Docker, and I'm going to do Docker compose up, and we'll wait till the server's up. But you can see I have, about 17, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So 18 different APIs. Now when the server's up and listening, we can use Postman against these APIs and it returns JSON data. But because I have this manifest file and an openAPI YAML spec, I'm going to be able to create a plugin for ChatGPT and then chat and get AI to help me understand space data. I'm not an astronaut or an astrophysicist or anything, but I'm very interested in space. And I'll actually do a chat with all of these APIs, and then I'll tweet out the link to that conversation so you can actually see the conversation that we have. And let me post it one more spot. In my Network GPT room, streaming on YouTube. And let me kill that. All right, okay. So, right now the Django database is up. And I use the Django database to store my key for NASA. So NASA needs a API key. And some of these do not require a key. So not all of these are from NASA. A good majority of them are from NASA and you require an API key. The one I'm looking at adding next is the Mars rovers. So here's the payload that we would get, and you can see it's an array of the rovers that are out on Mars or out in space. So that's the one we're going to add next because I don't have it yet. But for now, let me show you the idea. So we're going to go to ChatGPT 4 plugins beta, and you can see it's broken right now because my server's down. We'll wait for my server to come up, and then that plugin will not be broken. And then what I'll do is I'll have a conversation invoking each of the 17 APIs that I currently have covered. And then we'll go from there. Now, this is localhost and I'm still developing it. I think it's pretty close to being hosted publicly, and I hope to move this to the public cloud tomorrow and then submit a proposal to openAI for this plugin to be published. So now that the server's up, we should be able to see that space plugin now. And there we go. And I use that famous image from space, right? So space data from various sources, including NASA. So I may have to split screen here so that I can see the list of APIs that I have. I don't have them all memorized. And we can have some conversations here. So, hello, I am very interested in space, but I am not an astrophysicist. Let me get, or an astronaut. Could I spell that wrong too? Yeah, astronaut. Could you act as my guide as we look at various space-related information? First, could you tell me how many people, who they are, and anything you can tell me about them in space right now? So what this one's going to do is call this people in space. So let's go back to this. You can see that there's the people in space from the API. And it's going to say there's currently 10 people in space. Here's a list of their names in the spacecraft they're currently on. So it lists them, and then it lists the ISS. So some information about the space stations themselves. Unfortunately, I don't have specific details about each astronaut at this time. Okay, so now let's do something fun with the ISS location. Could you get the current location of the ISS, sample it 3 times over 30 seconds, and estimate how fast it is traveling and approximately where it is located above Earth right now? Thank you. So now it's going to invoke the ISS plugin, right? And there's the first sample. Let's wait about 10 seconds, then take the second sample. Here's the second sample, and it has the latitude and longitude and the timestamp. And you can see the timestamp has increased, and now it's doing it a third time. So now let's calculate the speed. So here's the calculation. Wow, look at this. Let's calculate the distances between the first and second. It's kind of hung here. Okay, there we go. And the second and third points, and calculate the average speed. Look at this calculation it's doing. I'm sorry, I don't have much to say. I'm in awe of this thing. Look at this. So now the average speed is 3.74 kilometers per second, and it's currently located over the South Atlantic Ocean, east of Argentina and south of South Africa. Okay, so how about this? Could you tell me when the best time to look into the sky to see the ISS if I live in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada? So now it's going to, well, it's trying to post to it. I'm going to say, can you get the current location and estimate when it will be visible above Ottawa? Let's see if this does. You should be able to get the current location from this space plugin and then estimate when it will be visible from Ottawa. It's being a little stubborn here. Let's see if we can get it. Huh. So it's saying it can't do it, even with the data. Okay, all right. That's fine. So now that you get the idea, let's take the server down. I don't need to do all of the plugins, but there's all these great plugins that we can use. So I'm going to take it down. And what we're going to do is we're going to add rovers. Okay, so I'm going to copy my last one here, planets. And what we're going to do is rovers. And change this to get rovers. Get rovers. Retrieve the rovers. Rovers. Alright. So now that we have rovers there, what we're going to do is make a new URL for rovers. Space rovers. Update a view. For space rovers. And I have to go steal the URL here. And the self.token. And that's all I need to do there. And then in the space API, I don't think I need to change anything at all here. I've got the rovers URL views, and I don't think I need to handle it anything special because it's not a huge payload. So let's go ahead and, well, let's not commit this yet. Let's get the server up. So let's build the server, flush our images, and bring our server up. And then what we can do is test the rover API. Okay, so we're just waiting for the server to come up. Sorry about that, I was just checking it on social. So what I like to do, so this is the data from the NASA. All I'm acting as a proxy to get this same data. And it's only 4.61 and it's only 268 lines. I don't think I'll need to adjust it. But you see all these IDs? I don't really need the IDs. I really don't. So I might take this server down and strip out all the IDs just for token count. So I might as well do that. We'll take the opportunity to do that. All right, so let me show you how I do this. This is the safest tokens. And it's not about money, it's about getting enough of the payload in. So I have to go to my view, and I'm going to say if this string right here is in the new API, then what we're going to do is do for rover in JSON response rovers, go ahead and delete rover ID. So that'll get rid of this ID. It doesn't seem like much, but overall the different rovers, that will add up. Now we're also going to go into cameras. So we're going to say for camera in rover cameras, and we're going to do the same thing, delete camera ID. And that'll just delete it from JSON response rovers. And then down here, we're going to add an else if. And we're going to do the same thing. If this is in the API, what we're going to do is send it the JSON response rovers. All right, so now we're going to build this and bring it up. Let me flush my containers here, my images rather, and bring them up. And now we should be able to do localhost rovers from Postman when the server starts listening and get the rover data from NASA. And then I will try it from the plugin here. So we'll start a new chat. And we'll have to wait to the plugin. We'll have to wait for this to come back up. Now, after I've done the rovers, I'm going to add each of the different rovers. So I can start building that now. I'm going to add a curiosity, a spirit, right? And then I'll go to each of those and see what they're all about. So let me try that. Well, I can't do it because you'll see my key. Anyway, I'll move on to those in sequence. We'll do rovers first, and then rovers curiosity, and then rovers curiosity photos. And I hope I don't have to limit photos, or maybe I can see the last 5 days worth of photos or something. I don't know. We're going to have to see. Remember, it's about the token limit and how much data we can stuff into the tokens. But we'll start with just rovers. Now, I'm sorry about how long this takes to come up. There's going to be a lot of this over this live stream, but these containers, they take 2 or 3 minutes to come up. So I'm just going to check in on socials while I'm waiting here. Not much going on. It's pretty quiet here on the stream too, so thank you for joining. Okay, let's do rovers, and then we might shut this down so that I can keep working on this. I thought I would hop on the stream and show you what I was working on. So we have space. Now I can say, can you give me all of the information and your analysis of the rovers in space? Please be... Anyway, I'll just leave it like that. So now, I should have tested it here first. Huh. So, why do I only have cameras? Oh no, there we go. Launch date, name, curiosity. Spirit. Okay. Now why did it call the people in space? I said rovers in space. Ha! See, sometimes it makes mistakes like that. So let's say I said rovers in space, not people in space. I know why. I know why. It's because I have to reinstall the plugin. So it picks up the new manifest file. Yep, that's my mistake. So I have to reinstall the plugin. And say, can you please give me the information about the rovers in space and your analysis about these rovers. Thank you. So now it should, this time, invoke the rovers plugin. And it did. And here are the rovers. Pretty neat, right? Launch date, landing date, status, total photos taken, the cameras it has on it. So there's Curiosity, Spirit, Opportunity, Perseverance. Pretty neat. And all the cameras they have, how many photos they took. I could even get this in a nice spreadsheet if you've never seen it do a spreadsheet. Now here's the analysis. What is it doing here? Oh, called Get Rovers again. Oh, weird. So it's like in a loop. Okay, I don't know. It's like kind of weird with the plugins sometimes. Okay, so now let's go a layer deeper and make APIs for each of these rovers. So let me go back here and let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to take down the server, and this will take a little bit of time, but bear with me. And let's see, let's just do one to test it before we proceed. So I'm going to go and copy this, but now I'm going to add curiosity behind it. Get rover curiosity. Let's just try one and see what kind of data is behind this API. So that's the path. I need to now go to my URLs. I better put a slash after that. Thank you for joining. I see a couple of more people on here. So now this is going to be Space Rovers Curiosity. And I need a view for that. Curiosity. And this is going to be, where's my guide here? Just slash curiosity. Now, I don't know if it has any more data than just this. I don't know. We'll just try it. And if it doesn't, then I'll just move right into photos. All right, so let's just try that. Which means I have to nuke the plugin. Sorry, just checking the socials. Come on, server. So we'll see what we get from this. And if this works, then I'll map Spirit and all the rest of them. Now, if it's the same data as this, rovers, then I'm not going to bother. And I'm obviously not going to be able to return the data from all, 660,000 photos. So what we'll probably do is have to look at what we get back from the photos and pick the last X number of records, or do it by date. We'll figure that out. Because the photos, while the server's not running, I can show you an example of one. If I find my chat history here about the photo of the day. Astronomy photo of the day. So here's an example. So it goes ahead and gets the photo of the day and then gives you its analysis of it and a link to the photo of the day in high def. So the photo of the day is pretty cool, and hopefully some of these Mars photos we can integrate from the rovers as soon as the server comes up. Let's just see. Alright, so it's up. So let's try it from here. Curiosity. No. 404. Hang on. I spelled it wrong, didn't I? Curiosity. So it's the exact same data. Okay, so let's take it down and let's add the photos. So curiosity / photos. Get rover curiosity photos. Photos. Let's just do that one for now. Now I need to update the path here. Photos. I'll leave that. And the view needs to go / photos. Alright, let's try that. So let's take a look and see. So we get 25 pages and we should get 1 page of photos. So maybe 25 pages of data, and that will be the latest 25. I see, and you can specify the camera even. So we could even map all the cameras for curiosity. I don't think I'm going to go that far. I think I'm just going to take the last 25 and see if I could fit them into a payload. Or go by the certain number of Earth dates or something. We'll figure it out. Let's just see what the payload looks like. Come on, server. Come on, server. And I gotta add photos to my path here. I always test it in Postman before I move it into the plugin. Not, I could just as easily test it in the plugin, but this is a nice fast way to make sure that I'm getting back. Okay, so there are no photos. So I do need to give it. So the default is all cameras, one page, and the key. So I need to add sol. So I just add 1,000. So ranges from 0 to the maximum found in the endpoint. Or by Earth date. I don't really want to do it on a specific date though. I just want the latest. So the default is none. I got a 200 back. So I hit the right API. So I have to give it a date though. That's what it looks like, right? So maybe this isn't a good example. Maybe I should just leave it at the rovers. That's a shame. Why can't I just get a list of all the photos instead of having to pick a random day? Anyway, I'll have to move along. So let me undo that. What else did I have in the URLs here? Are there any other ones that look easy enough that I haven't done? I've done that one, done that one, done that one. I think I've done all of the ones that are here. I think I have done all of these. Well, thank you for joining. Hey, Bishop, how's it going? You joined a little late. I'm just wrapping things up unless I can find an easy one that I haven't done yet. it's just a bunch of projects with project IDs. I don't see any good data there. I think I've done events. I've already done this API. Yeah, I've already done that one. Okay, well, I'm going to wrap it up for now. Thanks for joining, and hopefully I'll get this out publicly soon enough. Thanks again.